Hey guys, it's Allie. Here making another video. I told you I was gonna keep up on those daily videos, guys, and I'm doing it. So today's video is, I had kind of like a random thought. Like I woke up this morning and was like, I'm gonna make a YouTube video about that today. So I did. Like, I processed the thought of the video, and then here I am today. Now. I have a song of the day that I had previously picked out. It is actually playing right now. And it is Dear Prudence by Siouxsie and the Banshees. They are a very, very, very big part of the gothic subculture. Siouxsie and the Banshees. Oh, Siouxsie Sioux was the most gothiest goth girl there could be. Yet she sung songs like Dear Prudence that talked about sunny days and bright happiness, and people were just dumb, scared, and confused of like, what? You dress that way or you look that way, yet you're singing about happy things. Why? Because goths are always happy. So if you think that you really like this, or you really want to, go listen to the song, you should listen to the song. It is, Dear Prudence by Siouxsie and the Banshees. I think you should listen to anything by Siouxsie and the Banshees, because Siouxsie Sioux herself is such an inspiration to anybody who's a female and who's goth, just because she was one of the females that just kind of went out there, and with her appearance, she didn't give a fuck. It was how she put herself together and how she made herself happy, and that was her style. And everybody else kind of was like, that's new. But besides that, that is the song of the day. I'll put it in the description box below. But I kind of want to make a video about how I got into pretty much the music that I'm into. And the music that I'm into is a lot of, rock, alternative, metal music, goth, a lot of just music that isn't either, I'm just going to name the types of music that I really don't listen to or don't listen to, period, which is things like rap or R&B or pop music for that matter. I mean, I would consider Marilyn Manson pop music, but I'm not gonna say who listens to Marilyn Manson anymore, but he's kind of like, that baby bat mister that you kind of miss listening to. So every once in a while you're like, oh, I'm gonna play the baby bat role and go listen to Marilyn Manson all over again. But I don't really like using the word baby bat. I think it's pretty, I think it's fucking rude. I just think it's stupid. I just think if you're, coming into the goth subculture and you are going to be legitimate into the subculture, and you're going to be, furthering yourself and learning more, why should the people in the gothic subculture sit there and call you a baby bat? Or it just sounds like an insult because of the way that it's portrayed, pretty much. So it's like you're trying to, re-up in goth points or whatever they want to call it, and you're like, oh, look, I know about Siouxsie and the Banshees, or I've been listening to Siouxsie and the Banshees, or I've been listening to this, and it's just rude. I hate the term baby bat. So you use that shit, I'm gonna yell at you. Anyway, what was I saying? Mine went off track. But basically the type of music that I listen to tends to be a lot heavy, a lot of heavy metal, a lot of heavier black metal, a lot of just different types of metal, mostly goth, mostly punk, mostly anything punk, everything punk. A lot of death rock music, a lot of different types of alternative as well. But mostly I'm kind of a metalhead. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of a metalhead. But as far as that goes, people kind of wonder how I got into that music, or how I even got into that point. And basically I think it was, I want to say I was really, 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 really young, in the 6th grade, and I didn't really listen to music. 6th grade, I want to say it was more 4th, 5th grade. But 4th, 5th grade, I didn't really listen to music as much, just because I didn't know what to listen to. It was I'd listen to what my sister was listening to, my older sister, and she was listening to Britney Spears and NSYNC, and I was like, this is really bad music. And then I'd listen to what my little brother was listening to, and he's younger than me, and he's sitting there listening to Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube. So I'd sit there and listen to stuff that he'd listen to, and I was just like, all they're doing is talking about getting money and fucking bitches. I don't do that. I don't get it. So then my stepmom came along, or I went to my dad, the next family member, and then he's like, yeah, you should listen to like Bob Marley, and you should listen to like all these different types of weird music types that he was into during his age of like being an African American male. And I don't know, growing up at that time, he's like 40 something, so I don't know, during that time that was the type of music that he was listening to a lot of reggae, listening to lots of different types of things that he also liked. And I was just like, I don't understand what there's, I don't get it. So in terms of that, I ended up going to my stepmom, and my stepmom was listening to a lot of, you know, because she was listening to lots of different types of Hispanic music and lots of different types of, like, you know, I don't know, music that had to deal with she spoke Spanish, so she always listened to music that spoke Spanish, so she could just like start singing it in the middle of it. But she definitely listened to a lot of types of music like that, and I just kind of was like so confused and not knowing what types of music that I had so much music around me, but there was nothing that I was really like picking or stopping at or making sense of. Nothing really just cared, nothing really mattered to me. So at a certain point, my stepmom realized that nobody in my family could like get to me in terms of music. So I think it was about, I want to say the beginning of my 5th grade year, where I started listening to, I think I want to say beginning of 5th grade year or end of 5th grade year. But during that time, I was listening to, nope, I lied. It was the beginning of 6th grade year. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But at that time, like the beginning of 6th grade into 6th grade, starting middle school, I started to get really heavy into like Korn. My stepmom taught me, or she pretty much threw a CD at me and said, hey, listen to these guys and tell me how you think. Korn, the first song that I've ever heard was Freak on a Leash, and that was like, oh my god. And then I watched the YouTube video for it, or I watched the video for it, period, and it was like, oh my god, these guys are like so cool, like the way they dress is so cool, and the way they talk, and the way they sing, and the things they're singing about is just so cool. So I instantly got into Korn, and then right off the bat, we had On Demand, I don't know, we had On Demand, it was like that thing, and I don't know if any of you guys have had On Demand. It has like this huge music section where they just pretty much have like all different types of genres. You can click on it and you just listen to it for days and days and days. So I was listening to Korn, I was listening to Nirvana, because she had the Nevermind CD that she just kind of threw at me as well. The Nevermind CD, I got heavy into just like rock music and grunge, and then quickly I got into punk because grunge was just right around the corner. So after I got into all of that, it was just like, I want to further my mind. I definitely want to further my mind in terms of metal music, in terms of grunge, in terms of punk, in terms of just emo music, in terms of like at the time when I was in middle school, like 7th and 8th grade, getting older and stuff, it was definitely like I was getting more into the emo music, because a lot of the emo music dealt with a lot of conversational like dialogue lyrics that were pretty much like stuff that I would go through, or stuff that I would hear before, stuff that it was just like, it was so like empowering, and it meant so much to me. So I kind of just gave it a second chance. I gave it a second look, definitely, and just furthered my music choice through that. But basically, that's kind of how I got into rock music. I guess I'll just lump it all into rock music. I pretty much just got into rock music overall. It was just like, I had a lucky family member that was like, she doesn't listen to what we listen to. Let's throw her a CD from the 90s and we'll be fine. But that was pretty much what it was. And then as time went on, I had boyfriends and stuff like that kind of introduced me into different types of music in terms of the guys that I was dating. Like, I had guys that were into like Avenged Sevenfold, and I didn't like them at the time, but they were into Avenged Sevenfold, and I had exes that were into like Hollywood Undead, and then I was like, ew, like at the time. And then I dated somebody who at the time was crazy into punk rock music. He was listening to nothing but the Sex Pistols and the Misfits, and he was listening to anything by Sid Vicious, and everything was just so heavy punk. It was, DRI. It was all these different types of municipal waste, all sorts of types of, heavy metal mixed into, I don't want to say heavy metal, but like metal mixed into punk, and it was just like, oh my god, my two favorite things. So after that, my music choice started to just re-up after getting to know certain people that I was interested in, and then deep down inside me, I've always just had this liking for, like, pretty much what I saw the first time I got a chance to listen to a rock song, which was Korn, Freak on a Leash. It was just, they were dressing in nothing but leather, and they had, their stupid long, like, and they had their dreadlocks in, and they had it all over their face and black eyeliner, and it was just all so cool to me. I just stopped, and that was like the point in my life where I was like, I think I might become goth in the future. Just because I saw that, and it just instantly was like an instant snap of, that's what I want. That's what I want to either look like. That's what I want to listen to. That's what I want to be around. It was just instant off the bat what I knew, what I wanted to, listen to in terms of music. But that was a long conversation. I'm glad that you guys got to be here with me to talk about, how I got into my music choice. And I don't know, you guys post down below and tell me how you got into your music choice, and tell me what your music choice is. Besides that, I'm just going to go. I hope you guys have a really great day, and stay ghoulish, stay brutal, stay goth. Yeah. Bye, guys.